Good evening, everybody. I'm Rogan Rosario. I'm with my mentor Victor Rosario, and today I'm going to be interviewing everybody from my game development. Hello, Ray. I can hear you.
Hello.
Hello. Now, would you mind answering a few questions?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. First of all, what do you do in Feral Echo's development?
I am the writer first and foremost. I discuss ideas for the story, the plotline, edit whatever dialogue is given to me as suggestions, and discuss how we can do the narrative.
Alrighty. Now, would you also mind telling us? Well, of course, now you're the writer, but what are you most skilled at? What do you do?
Again, I am mostly skilled in writing. I have read and seen a lot of movies, stories, and even my favorite pastime is to write just for the fun of it, whatever first comes to mind. But I'd say that perhaps my best skill is to take ideas and try to sort of put them together in a more cohesive way, if possible,
Yes,
be it with my own or whatever suggestions or possibilities I see with other ideas.
of course. Now, Ray, just a final question, but how many times have we rewritten the script?
I'd say with the current one, about three,
Three or
four.
four or five? Yeah.
No, five. No, it's mostly around three. I don't believe it's two, but three or four. That's what I'm most certain of.
Yeah. And we're still in Act 1, correct?
Yes, but at the very least, with the dynamic we have with the characters, we can have things flow more interestingly. Since the original script was something I was willing to fight along against because it was very basic. It really needed some punching up to just spice up the dialogue and give it a bit more life. Even if it was with a bad joke here and there, just to have something that made it stand out and not be too standard.
Yes, of course.
Sorry about that. I know you and Danny put a lot of effort into that, but
Yeah, no, but we
I,
rewritten it so much that we cultivated like good ideas to it, especially to the intro part, which I will explain later when I'm talking to other people.
all right.
Yeah.
Do tell me if you got any ideas that you like to discuss and es- that I could edit or spice up as much as possible.
Yes. Now, for the last thing, is there any questions you have for me? And if not, can you tell people how they can find you if you want them to commission you?
Well, I am the sword slinger, so that's how they can try and get in contact with me to commission me for rather cheap prices, I must admit.
This is an
But
interview. This is gonna be shown to a bunch of professionals.
okay, can you edit this part out then?
I'll try.
I like my privacy first and foremost, so
Yeah, no problem. I did not show the Discord call or anything.
all right.
All right.
Well, I don't know what else to say.
Well, if that's all, thank you for your time, Ray. I'll be going on to the next person. See you soon.
See ya.
The next person I'll be calling is a rookie. Well, not a rookie, but he's the new person we added to our group. And his name is. As soon as the call starts.
What's up?
Hello, Will Watts.
Hi. Oh, the interview thing. Right, I forgot
Yes,
about that.
no problem. Now, Will, you're fairly new here, but can you tell
Hi.
us what do you do in
Um,
the development of Feral Echoes?
I'm currently going to be a writer or helping write the game and work on the story. Granted, I haven't been able to do very much. Finals are almost over. Actually, in a few days, I'll finally be able to be done with that, and I'll just be working.
You're also going to be a co-developer? I mean, co-programmer, you said?
Am I? I didn't.
Oh, I thought you said so when we first spoke.
Well, like, I'm willing to learn programming, but I'd have to be taught that because I don't know how to use what you guys are using. I don't think.
RenPy engine.
Okay. Well, I'm always willing to learn it.
All right. Any skill sets you have?
I've made games before in the past. I took a game development class and I got an award in my class for most complex level when we made our maze games.
That's really
I took a grid piece of paper, outlined a Triforce, and then made a super complex maze using the grids.
And what engine did you use to program that?
I use Blender.
Oh, Blender.
Yeah, Blender has a game development software that I didn't know about. So I learned how to use that, and it's honestly pretty intuitive for what it is.
It's really amazing.
If basic. Mm-hmm.
Well,
I've also made it
basic, but to me, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's fair. I've also made a shoot 'em up. I don't know where it went. Like I made it a while ago, but I created like Space Invader looking aliens, but I made them look kind of like cyborgs and gave them like augmentations. I had my ship created. I had the blast made. The only thing we didn't have time for was actually creating the spawning of enemies.
All right.
But I had everything else on it done.
Now, my final question for you is: when I first brought you into this group, how well did you situate yourself?
I situated myself. I wish I could have done it a little bit more than I did, but I'm definitely going to be putting more time and effort into the project after I have my first semester of college under my belt.
Hey, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any questions for me? And if not, thank you. But also, like, you can plug some of your things for people to find where to contact you.
I mean, if anyone really wants to contact me for any reason, I guess you can use my email, epicbountyhunter333@gmail.com. It's all lowercase, no spaces. It's stupid. I've had it for years, but I'll actually be able to respond to you that way rather than using a more formal email.
All right.
I guess only question I might have for you would be how's like the game coming along?
The game is surprisingly coming along very well.
That's good.
Sure, we changed the script from a female character to a male character, but that seemed to be like a change for the better since like Ray was able to like have more fun with that kind of script.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, everything is going green.
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm excited that when you told me about the whole idea of like a deranged main character, I feel like it's hard to do, but if you do it well, it makes your game a lot more interesting.
Yeah. I will show the script off later as well. So
cool.
Anyways, that's all, Will.
All right, cool.
Well, thank you for having you here, and we'll be meeting at 6. I know you may not make it, but I just wanted to tell you.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
All right, have a good day.
See you. You too.
Now, the final person I will be calling is my co-developer, and also the first person that came with me to suggest this idea with me. RapterDanny, this is a formal interview. This will be shown by a bunch of professionals. I'm just telling you, just to be prepared.
Oh, okay.
All right. Hello, Danny. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Can you tell me, what do you do in the development of Feral Echoes?
I am the illustrator and also I also work a bit on the writing.
Yes. Can you tell me how the development started?
It all started back in the summer of 2021. My friend Rovican asked a question about what kind of
If you ever wanted to make a game with me.
yeah. And so he gave me like two ideas about what it could be uh based on something. I remember one he specifically told me about it being, being like noir inspired with full on humans or with animals. I remember that much. And so we've been working a bit on the script about it, and I've been trying to push out character designs as we were making the game.
Yeah. And I thank you very much for that, Raptor, for staying with me for the longest time. Now, also,
No
Raptor,
problem.
do you have any questions for me?
I do not.
All right. Do you want to tell the people how they can get in contact with you in case they want to do some commissions of your art?
Well, I do have a Discord. I do have a Discord server as well. You can also reach me through DeviantArt, which is just RapterDanny with an E. And I also have an Instagram that is RapterDanny Resurrected.
All right. And thank you, Raptor, for being in this call for me and making time.
No problem.
All right. Oh wait, before I end the call, I already talked about like your skill sets, right?
By that you mean like how well I draw?
Well, I will show them how well you draw. But anyways, what is your past experience with art and all that stuff?
Well, I would say that I'm still a beginner. I only have 3 years under my belt, and I believe the mostly a pretty big change will happen if I continue more for a bit more for 2 more years.
All right. What is your goal in the future?
My goal is to either be an animator or a mangaka.
All right. Well, anyways, thank you, Raptor. Have a good day. I'll be going into the segment about our game development server. Is there anything you want me to not show them, just in case?
Uh, I really don't have anything in mind, so nah.
All right. As always, thank you for your time then.
No problem.
All right. Now, everyone, I will show you our development server and the amount of time we've worked on this. And also, Mentor, this will be the fourth time you've seen this? All right. Let me just minimize the screen. All right. Now, this is our server. Now, in general, all we talk about is basically like how we discuss things because we don't want to interrupt these other text channels that have our images and scripts and clues and details. As you can see, I feel like development started all the way. Well, of course, all the way in summer, but the exact date where we started the server, well, is about like August. I'll just say it's basically the first day of August. And as you can see, when we were discussing things, just learned that a group of ferrets is called a business. It would be good using good use on that. Because as you know, we work with animals, like animal people, animals half human, and then humans. So we take the animals like skill sets and we try to see how we can implement that in a 1950s noir setting. Now I'll be going to the script area where, as you can see, now I know that this one doesn't have a long time, but at first I just copied from what I had written in my notebook into here. As you can see, the script wasn't really that well because I am not a writer. But then right when we had Ray here, he put in all this all of this neatly and well into the script. But the thing that bothered me, and mostly everybody, was just that it was too long, and it had unnecessary details. And so I started making a new script when Will came along, just so he can understand like how things will flow and all that stuff. And after that, Ray got into contact with me saying how like maybe we should change the female character into a male character because honestly, like, first of all, we're all guys. I'm not saying we don't know how to write women, but specifically we had struggled with writing like the character for Tina because I wanted her to be more like optimistic and sassy. Ray wanted her to be basically a blank slate that basically a player can project themselves into. And Will wanted a strong female character, so we decided to change it into like essentially a deranged, not a deranged, but more like a nihilistic, negative, pessimistic person. Now, I won't show too much of the script very well because I don't want anyone to take my ideas. Anyways, we'll start off with the images. This is where RapterDanny will put in the concept art for all the characters. And we even put some additional details in, but not too much. And this is where we changed up Tina's design a bit, and this was her final design. But then now we got rid of her. Of course, images can also pertain to like stuff that we want to use. For example, the ideas of what the mafia should use or what the protagonist should use. Now, as you can see, this is Croc, one of your partners in Feral Echoes, and this is going to be one of the antagonists you'll see and probably in the second game. And here we have our new character named Colt so far. As you can see, Raptor's concept art was... Raptor does a lot of concept art, as you can see, from this tag he put in to not use the first one. I don't know if we ever agreed on which style to use, but either way, it's not the first one. And here's the details text script where we put in all the bios of all the characters, basically to their ages, personality, backstory, all of that. We even put like some additional phrases so we know like what kind of character they are, if they're going to be important to the story or if they're just like a side character. And as you can tell, this is very early since Tina was just called human female at the time. And here's the clues text box. We haven't used much of this, but basically we just whenever there's a crime scene, we put the items that could be used as clues on that crime scene, and we basically connect the dots. For example, I'll describe one right now, where the first victim of a mafia crime will be a rat. Now, I won't tell you all the clues, but I'll basically tell you what's there. The clues that you will find is 4 tire tracks, bullet shells that have been shot, a tempered photograph that will be an important detail to this game, and brown weasel hair, which could or could not be the culprit. Location text is pretty self-explanatory. I put the locations that will be used in the game. Now, our first game that we want to make it short and simple, but not too short and not too simple. We don't want to dumb it down or anything like that. But anyways, that is all from like the game development server. Now, Mentor Rosario, would you like to ask me a few questions?
I like the way it's being developed, at least to that phase that you are going to, or you guys are going to. I have a just basic question for you,
Yes.
and one would be, why you choose me as a mentor?
Well, it's simple. First of all, I don't know anybody else who's is a game developer, and I didn't want to pay anyone who is one. But also, since you used to formerly work at NASA as a computer engineer and a programmer of sorts, I wanted to ask you because you also knew C++ language, how things can be done in Visual Studios, and you even made some games of your own, even if they are simple.
Okay. The question also, well, as you know, that to create a game, it requires a lot of procedures and steps. Uh, why you decide to become a game creator?
Well, it's simple. It it all started when I was young. Uh, at first, I wanted to play games for a living. I told you that, but then as I got older, I realized that like not that I'm bad at games, but it's just that it's not really fun playing games if I want to play them competitively. Then sooner or later, I played a game called No More Heroes, developed by Suda51, and the story, the machinations, how the characters respond, feel, and how the story and how the gameplay mixes well into the story. It's just it all bloomed life, and it made people happy. And I see all these people talking about the game and how they always remember him, they always support him, and I'm not gonna do it for the fame, but I want to make people smile. I want to see people like what I created and remember. And even if they don't remember me, as long as they remember the game, that's all that's good for me.
Okay, and last question: do you have all it takes to have a career as a game developer?
Well, I will be honest.
Hmm.
I don't have the software that it takes to be a game developer. For the game I'm creating, it is a visual novel. So, with my computer, it's not gonna be like a complex software that is gonna bust my computer.
Excuse me.
But
I know that you may don't have the software now, but you will. But what I mean is, do you have the will?
almost definitely.
Okay.
And I will discuss this. I forgot to discuss it with Raptor to get proof, but essentially one moment Ray, as he says, he kept on trying to like support his ideas for the game. Now I did not disagree with those ideas, but some of these ideas are, oh, maybe the character should get blackmailed for a crime. And I said, that's a good idea, but let's save it for later or maybe for the second game. Because when a player jumps in, I don't want them jumping in thinking like having high expectations. And then if we do stuff that is a bit low, they be like, oh man, what I wasted my time playing this. So, as you kept on talking and talking and giving new ideas and rearing the script off, I basically, and this is also when he suggested the male character. This was in one of our meetings. He was just like, "Oh, maybe we should have a male character and do all this and that." And I said, "All right, you know what? If you want to do this, you have by Thursday to give me an entire script about that, because I'm not gonna waste my time on that. And if you can't, we'll just keep writing the script as it is now." And as you can see, he did that.
Okay.
Is that all your questions?
Yeah. There's three. I would say that three good questions for your continuity on this journal.
All right. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching this interview. And is there anything you want to say, Victor Rosario?
Well, I will encourage all the team to not give up in whatever you wanted to pursue. Maybe at the beginning you don't get the result you're looking for, but I know you will get wherever you want to go. Thank you.
And thank you.